Good morning, afternoon, or evening from whenever or wherever you are watching this video from. I am Jack Adamas, back with my Premier League football predictions, episode 28, game week 28. Let's get straight into it.
Gonna be a good day, a good vibe, a bit of Postmates.
We start game week 28 with the 8 p.m. kickoff tonight, which sees Wolves hosting Aston Villa. Wolves followed up that draw with Arsenal by losing last weekend to Crystal Palace in a match where they had 10 men and they missed a penalty, which now sees them 17 points from safety with only 30 points to play for in the rest of this season. They do need 2 more points though to secure that they don't go down with the lowest points tally ever. Aston Villa's title dreams are now fading away as they now find themselves 10 points behind the league leaders, which is surprisingly down to their home form, where they have lost 3 of their last 5 domestic home matches. They will be happy to be back on the road now though, as they've only lost 1 of their last 11 competitive away games. Wolves have won 6 of the last 8 head-to-heads they've played Villa at home, but I don't think that'll make a difference this weekend, as I can see Aston Villa winning here in a 2-1 victory. Moving on to Saturday now, we have the 12:30 kickoff, which sees Bournemouth host Sunderland. Bournemouth are one of the informed teams at the moment in the Premier League. With that draw away to West Ham last weekend, they now find themselves unbeaten in their last 7 matches with 4 wins and 3 draws to their name. Only Manchester United have a better unbeaten record at the moment, and they have lost 7 games all season, which is the lowest of any team outside of the top 5. Sunderland come into this one off the back of that loss to Fulham last weekend, which now means they've lost 3 consecutive games in the league for the first time this season, but they know it's not all doom and gloom, as if they do get another victory here, they will move themselves back into the top half of the table. And Sunderland have won 4 of their last 5 visits to the Vitality Stadium by a 1-goal margin, but I do believe that Bournemouth will get their revenge this time round, as I can see Bournemouth winning this one by a 1-goal margin in a 2-1 victory. Moving on to the first of 3 p.m. kickoffs on Saturday, we travel to Turf Moor where we have Burnley at home to Brentford. Burnley now sit 8 points from safety, but they've shown in their recent performances that they aren't going down without a fight, and they could actually stay up this season if they continue this vein of form, where they are unbeaten in their last 2 games against London clubs, picking up 4 points in their last 2 matches. Brentford are still in the hunt for the European places, and they were on a good run of form before losing last time out as they lost 2-0 to Brighton, which did put a dent in their European aspirations. But they do still find themselves only 5 points off of the top 5, but they also do find themselves only 5 points off of 13th. So it does just go to show you how tight the league is this season. And now Brentford are looking to do their first league double over Burnley for the first time since 1934-1935 season, which I think they will accomplish this weekend, as I can see them winning here in a 1-0 victory. Next up, we have Liverpool at home to West Ham. Liverpool's late surge to finish in the top 4 is really and truly on now, as they have won their last 3 games without conceding a goal in all 3 of those victories, 2 of which were on the road. They now return to Anfield, where they've lost 1 and won 6 of their last 10 matches. West Ham now find themselves just 2 points from safety, and they have had chances in recent weeks to come out of the drop zone as they have drawn their last 2 matches, but they do look more and more likely like they will stay up this season. However, this weekend is going to be a very hard test for them, especially with Liverpool winning 9 out of the last 10 head-to-heads between these 2 sides, and the fact they've only lost 1 of their last 58 home head-to-heads against West Ham. I can see Liverpool winning here in a 3-0 victory. Moving on, we have Newcastle at home to Everton. Newcastle blitzed past Qarabağ midweek in the Champions League with a scoreline of 9-3 on aggregate, which now means they've won 4 of their last 5 games in all competitions, and that late surge for the European places is really and truly on for Newcastle. However, they have lost their last 3 domestic games at home at St James's Park, so they will have to turn that round in this one. Everton, like I said already, they sit 1 point above Newcastle in the table, but they have suffered back-to-back defeats in their last 2 Premier League matches for the first time since mid-December. Both of those defeats, though, they did come on home soil. They have been better on the road of late, as they are unbeaten in their last 5 away trips with 3 wins and 2 draws. As Newcastle are looking to complete their 6th ever league double over Everton, I believe they will make that come true this weekend, as I can see them winning here in a 2-0 victory. And for the 5:30 kickoff, we travel to Ellen Road, where we have Leeds at home to Man City. Leeds find themselves 6 points from safety, as they've only lost 1 of their last 6 Premier League matches, and they have drawn their last 2 games away from home against teams currently in the top 5. And now they are playing City this weekend. It means they've played 4 of the top 5 in their last 5 matches. City are continuing to put pressure on Arsenal at the top of the table, and they know a victory here will move them just 2 points behind Arsenal, and Arsenal have got that massive game to play on Sunday. And with City winning 7 of their last 8 games in all competitions, there's no surprises why they're big favourites going into this one. And with City looking to make it 3 consecutive victories at Ellen Road for the first time since the 1920s, I believe they will do that this weekend, as I can see them leaving with all 3 points in a 2-0 victory. Moving over to Sunday now, where we have 3 games kicking off at 2 p.m. We start with Brighton at home to Nottingham Forest. Brighton got back to winning ways last weekend, which was their first victory in 6 matches, but more importantly, it was only their second win in 14 games, which was putting pressure on Hurtzler, but that has now eased as he is looking to win back-to-back games for the first time since late November. Forest lost yesterday to Fenerbahce in the Europa League, but that 3-0 victory in the first leg still was enough to make them qualify, but it does mean that Pereira has now lost back-to-back games in only his 3 games in charge of Nottingham Forest, and they do find themselves only 2 points from safety, so they are in serious trouble going into this one. And head-to-heads between these two sides in recent years have been very even. In the last 7, we've seen Brighton win 3, Nottingham Forest win 2, and 2 of them end in draws. I do believe this will be another tight game, but I do believe that Brighton will get the victory in a 2-1 win. Next up, we have the London derby between Fulham and Tottenham. Fulham won last weekend away to Sunderland, which means they're only the second team to win at the Stadium of Light this season, which sees them only 3 points behind 7th place and the European spots, so that gives them extra incentive going into this weekend. Spurs, though, they don't need any extra incentives going into this one. As of late, all of their games are must-win games as they find themselves only 4 points off of relegation, and they really are involved in a relegation scrap this year. This is the first time as well they haven't won a game in January or February in the league for the first time since 1999. And Fulham have won 3 of the last 4 head-to-heads between these two sides, the other one finishing in a draw. I do believe they'll make it 5 unbeaten come full-time here as they do their second ever league double over Spurs in a 2-1 victory. Next we go to Old Trafford, where we have Manchester United at home to Crystal Palace. Manchester United are the best informed team in the league over the last 10 matches. They are undefeated in those 10 games with 6 wins and 4 draws to their name. They have picked up 22 points out of 30 in those 10 matches. That run did start under Ruben Amorim, but Michael Carrick has now really taken them to the next level, and another victory here, they could end this game week in 3rd position. Palace have revived their season in their last 2 matches, winning back-to-back games, which has now seen them qualify for the Conference League and move 10 points from the relegation zone. But unfortunately for them, though, they have won only 1 of their last 26 matches away from home against teams in the start of play in the top 6. United will be looking to get another victory here and secure a league double over Crystal Palace for the first time since 27-2018 season, which I believe they will do in a 2-0 victory. They say save the best till last, and we have, as we have game of the weekend at 4:30 on Sunday, which is the London derby between Arsenal and Chelsea. Arsenal bounced back from that draw with Wolves by smashing Spurs last weekend, and I know Spurs aren't in the best run of form, but that game was a derby, and anything can happen in a derby, so they did really shrug off the bottlers catchphrase there, and now they've returned to another London derby where they've only lost 1 of their last 25 games. And with Chelsea's momentum stalling of late, where they've drawn their last 2 Premier League matches, both on home soil and both against newly promoted sides, it does continue their unbeaten run to 6 matches though under Rosignol. But Rosignol won't be happy coming to this one as he has lost 2 of his 12 games in charge of Chelsea, and both of those games did come at the hands of Arsenal. Also, with Arsenal being unbeaten in the last 10 head-to-heads between these two sides, with 7 victories in that time, I do believe that Arsenal will win again here. I can see them winning here in a boring 1-0 win. Thank you very much if you are still here at the end of my video. I really do appreciate the love and support I've been getting from you guys. Please do continue to like, share, but most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Have a good weekend, guys. And remember, if you don't shoot, you can't score. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.